Everyone's fine around. My name is Jordan. This video will be for Friday's slate of games. We have 7 different games to go through, and this is a reminder, this video is an analysis of the slate. I will go through each game. I'll give you an update on injuries. I will walk through some props that I see that have good hit rates, talk about guys who have good matchups, good history, all that good stuff. I will also give my lean on the spread. So let's dive right into it. You will see images that come up on the screen on both sides. That's from a data app called Outlier. There will be a link in the description for a 7-day free trial for Outlier. And this first game is the Bulls versus the Hornets. The Bulls are 2.5-point favorites. The Bulls will not have Ayo Dosunmu or Kevin Huerter, and some pretty good scorers off the bench for them. Kobe White, Trey Jones, Zach Collins, Isaac Okoro, Jalen Smith are all probable, so they're going to have a lot of other guys there. The Hornets, they will not have LaMelo or Colin Sexton, and Trey Mann are all out. Bulls give up the 5th most points to teams. The Hornets give up the 9th most points to teams and the 3rd most assists. So a lot of points to go around here in this matchup. So the first guy that I like is someone who is coming back from injury, and it's Kobe White over points and assists. He had 25 points and 4 assists against the Hornets on November 28th. And with Ayo Dosunmu not there and Kevin Huerter not there, he should get some more minutes and some extra volume in a good matchup. So I do like him here. And for a parlay piece, I think you could take 20 plus points for him. Like I said, he did have 25 there. He's hit this in every single game except for a blowout versus the Warriors. And then someone who hasn't been playing too well, but has great history versus the Hornets, is Nikola Vucevic over rebounds. So he's hitting 50% of games over the last 10 games. So you can completely fade this if you want to, but he had 14 rebounds against the Hornets in this stretch. So he went over in all 3 games versus the Hornets last year as well. So I don't know what it is. He just likes to rebound a ton against the Hornets. So Nikola Vucevic is a guy to look at. And then obviously for the Hornets, they're going to need to find some scoring with LaMelo and Colin Sexton out. Brandon Miller is probably going to be that guy to get a lot of volume. Con Knipple is going to be that guy to get a lot of volume. But a prop that I do like that's not an offensive one is Brandon Miller over his blocks and steals. He's gone over this in all but 1 game this year with an 89% hit rate. And against the Bulls earlier this year, he had 3 blocks. Didn't even need a steal to go over this line. So the Bulls are in the top 3 for giving up steals and top 3 for giving up blocks. So it's a really good matchup for him. And the last 5 players at his position went over blocks plus steals. So I do like that for him. And for a lean here, the Bulls have covered in 1 out of the last 10 games. And the Hornets did just beat them in Charlotte not too long ago. So I will lean the Hornets here, even though they will not have a couple of their scorers. I think this will be just a close, high-scoring matchup. This next one is the Cavaliers versus the Wizards. Cavaliers are 14.5-point favorites. Cavaliers will not have Jared Allen or Sam Merrill. The Wizards won't have Chris Middleton, Alex Sarr, Bilal Coulibaly, or Corey Kispert. That's a lot of scoring and young talent that's going to be out for this. So obviously this has high blowout potential. The last time that these 2 teams played, the Cavaliers won 148-115, and a lot of the starters sat for Cleveland. So I kind of see the same scenario here. So with a high blowout, Donovan Mitchell's points is getting bumped up. It was at 29.5, and then it went up to 30.5, and then 31.5. But I would actually lean him on the under for points here. In that one blowout, he did go under and scored just 24 points. So Cavaliers, they play a lot of team basketball. Donovan Mitchell usually goes hero ball in big matchups, but in a situation like this, if the Cavaliers do get that blowout, it's going to be a team effort. So I would actually lean the under here for him. And there wasn't much else that I could find. Not anyone for the Wizards that I really liked, but if you use PrizePicks and you like the dunks prop, Evan Mobley, his dunks is at just 2. He's only missed this in 1 game this year, and I feel like he could get 2 plus dunks done in at least 3 quarters. So with Jared Allen out this year, yeah, he's gone under in 1, and he's gone over in 7 out of 10 games. So I do like that. And then for a lean here, the Cavaliers, they have been struggling a little bit. But I do think with Jared Allen out, like analytically, just reading Cavaliers stuff, the Cavaliers are a lot better with Evan Mobley at the center position and Jared Allen not playing. So I am going to lean the Cavaliers for another blowout here against the Wizards. The Wizards just are not good. This next one is the Hawks versus the Pistons. Pistons are 6.5-point favorites. These two teams, last time they played, both teams scored under 100 points. It was a slugfest. But Porzingis will be out with an illness again. He's just always out with an illness. I'm not sure what's up with him. And then the Pistons have no new significant injuries. So first one I want to point out is Onyeka Okongwu over 3.5 first quarter points. So with Porzingis out this year, he's hit this in 75% of games to start off games. And versus the Pistons this year in 2 games in that scenario with Porzingis out, he's had 5 in the first quarter, and then he had a 12-point first quarter last time that they played. So I like that. And then another first quarter prop for the Hawks that I like is Jalen Johnson over his rebounds. So he's hit his rebounds in 89% of games with Kristaps Porzingis out, and he had 3 rebounds and 4 rebounds in both of those games versus the Pistons. So 100% hit rate on the year. And then a full game prop, I can't fade Jalen Johnson overall right now. The PRA came out at 39.5, and it's gone up by 4 points. So I still like where his PRA is at, or you could just look at his rebounds and assists, but he's hit his PRA in 75% of games with no Porzingis and no Trae Young. So it did start at 39.5. If you wanted to bump it down to where it started, that has a 100% hit rate on the year and hit in both games versus the Pistons. And for the Pistons, I like Cade Cunningham for over his rebounds and assists. The Hawks give up the 6th most rebounds and the 9th most assists to the point guard position. He's hit this in both games versus the Hawks this season and all 4 games against them last season. So the history is there, the matchup is there, and the hit rate is there. So for a lean here, both of these teams the 2 times that they have played has been a slugfest. It's been a really close game. I know Porzingis is out, but he wasn't playing in those other ones either. So I do think 6 points is a lot for the way that they've been playing against each other. So I am going to lean the Hawks to keep it close here on the road. And before I get into the rest of these, if you guys could, please like the video. The last one did not get to 1,000 likes, but this video is the official video for my 3-year anniversary on YouTube. So if we could get 3,000 likes, that'd be awesome. But if not, 1,000 likes would be cool too. So 3 years of doing this, my 4th season. I know that doesn't make sense, but I'm at the end of one season and then the beginning of another. You combine them, then there's 3 seasons. But I've been doing this for a while now. So if you just comment the number 3, that would be awesome. Helps get this video out there for more people to see. If you have not subscribed to the channel, like I said, I've been doing this for a long time now, and I don't plan on stopping. Going to continue to break down and give you guys great analysis on these games to help you make money. And with that said, ever since the beginning, I have been against charging for picks and stuff like that. So if you guys do well and you feel like giving back, I have a Cash App Venmo in the description. It is fine around 11 if you do well and you feel like giving back. So with all of that and going through all this, I've had sponsors, affiliates, all that stuff reach out to me. So I want to shout out some of them to help, pay for some diapers. So if you guys would like to sign up for a social sports book, you can bet money line, spreads, single bet in all the states you see on the screen except for California and New York. They just got rid of it. These you can use in states where you can't use DraftKings and FanDuel. For Onyx odds, you bet $10, get 100. No Vegas, bet 5, get 50. You can put 15 down and get 150 to play with. That is awesome for both of those. And then Underdog Fantasy is a great app. They're doing bet 5 gets 75 right now, so you can literally put 20 down and get 225 to play with if you don't have any of those. So great deals all around. Promo code is fine around 11. I'll put a link in the pinned comment and the description for those. The next game is the Pacers versus the Sixers. Sixers are 7.5-point favorites. Pacers have no new significant injuries. The Sixers, Kelly Oubre is out, and then Embiid and Maxey are probable. So in this matchup, I actually like Tyrese Maxey for his rebounds, where they put his line out at. He's hit this in 67% of games with Embiid playing this year, and the Pacers give up the third most rebounds to the point guard position. Overall this season, he's hit this in 70% of games, averaging almost 5 rebounds a game. And 6 of the last 7 point guards that have faced the Pacers have all gone over their rebounds line. And then also for the Sixers, this one's a little bit scary, but I want to point it out because the matchup is very good, and this could be a bounce back spot. Joel Embiid over his points for 20 plus points. Fade it if you want to. I'm just pointing out the matchups. So I know he's had some really bad shooting games over the past couple of games. The Pacers are giving up the 7th most points to the center position and the 3rd most points over the past 2 weeks. So they're getting even worse versus center position. He's still taking high volume of shots. He's just had some tough matchups lately and just some really bad percentage shooting games. So you could fade him. But like I said, great matchup there. And then another guy, we got to run it back. This guy's been a wagon, our breadwinner for us. And it's at plus 140 now. Jay Huff over his blocks for 3+ blocks. You would think, Joel Embiid out there, it's a tough matchup. But the Sixers are actually in the middle of the league for giving up blocks. It's not like a very tough matchup for getting blocks. So Jay Huff, playing 20 minutes or more since he has gone into the starting lineup, has hit this in 91% of games this season. So plus 140, the payout's getting even better for this. So I like Jay Huff for 3+ blocks. Might as well keep taking it until they make it, minus 200s. For lean here, I normally do like the Pacers when they play at home, but they're not at home here, and they do have that big mismatch with Joel Embiid playing. So I will lean these Sixers at home. This next one is the Jazz versus the Grizzlies. Grizzlies are 6.5-point favorites. The Jazz have no new injuries. And then the Grizzlies, Zach Edey is out, which is a big one. And then Ja Morant is questionable. He practiced with no limitations. So there is a decent shot that he could return here. So the Jazz give up the 2nd most points and the 2nd most assists. So this is a really good matchup for some Grizzlies players here. I don't know if Morant's going to have a minutes limit if he plays. They did say practice with no limitations, so we'll see. But you could just wait on that news. They put his points line at 22.5 points, which I feel like is regular points line for him. So I guess the books feel like there's going to be no minutes restriction on him, or a lot of people are just going to take the under on that. So I do like where his assists came out at. He's hit this assist line 75% of games this year. Obviously, if they do announce he has a minutes limit, then stay away from it. But that's something you just have to keep an eye out on. Just stay away from him completely if you don't want to bet on him. But I do think his assist line is low enough to bet if he plays. His points line does seem a little high. And then there's a shooter for the Grizzlies that I really like. I think his 3-point line might have been bumped down because of Ja Morant news, but it's Cam Spencer over his threes. He's averaging almost 3 makes a game over the last 10 games, and he's hitting his threes in 70% of games this year. The Jazz do give up the 2nd most threes to the position, and obviously he might lose minutes. He most likely will lose minutes if Morant plays. It would be more of like a role player off the bench shooting threes, but I still think he's going to get enough volume to knock down 2 threes at least. So that's a one to take a look at. The matchup is just really good. And then for the Jazz, a lot of their players have been inconsistent lately. They've had some really tough matchups. Lauri Markkanen, Keontae George, a lot of those guys, their points have been really off and on. But one guy who has been consistent is Ace Bailey, the rookie. And the Grizzlies do give up the 6th most 3-pointers to teams. Being in the starting lineup, playing 20 plus minutes, he's hit his threes in 9 out of the last 11 games. So I really like that opportunity for him. And for a lean, I hate to keep taking favorites, but the Jazz just have not been that great lately, especially on the road. Grizzlies have been covering the spread, and they could potentially have one of their best players back. So I will lean the Grizzlies at home. Missing Zach Edey does scare me a little bit because he can kind of control the game down low. But with Triple J there, Santi Aldama off the bench, they still have a lot of firepower there. So I will lean the Grizzlies. Before I get into these last 2 games, if you guys want to tail my chalkboard slip, this is a 6x with a 20% payout boost using some of these plays. Brandon Miller for blocks plus steals. Kobe White 20 plus points. Okongwu over those first quarter points with no Porzingis, and Ace Bailey for 2+ 3-pointers made. Tell me on ChalkBoard. I will put a link in the pinned comment that'll take you there. Promo code is FINEAROUND11 for that if you want to follow me. The next one is the Nets versus the Mavericks. Mavericks are 7.5-point favorites. The Nets have no new injuries. The Mavericks lost Lively for the season, and Daniel Gafford is doubtful. A prop that I see right away that I do like, that is interesting, is Max Christie over his first quarter points, and he just needs to make one shot. It's at 1.5. Still playing about 7 minutes in the first quarter. We just need him to make that one shot, and this has an amazing hit rate on the season. Another guy, I'm glad he's back, PJ Washington. I like him for his rebounds. He has hit his rebounds in 80% of games this year. I've pointed this out over and over again while he was questionable and he didn't play, but he finally did, and he went over again. So the Nets give up the 4th most rebounds to the power forward position. So the matchup is good, the hit rate is good, and I feel like this will probably get bumped up. As for the Nets players, I didn't really find much that I liked. The Mavericks do give up a lot of rebounds to teams. I normally do like Michael Porter Jr.'s rebounds. They did bump it up 1, so if you want to take a look at where it was before, because if you bump it up 1, the hit rate's not very good. So I think a good parlay piece could be over 5.5 rebounds where it used to be. He's hit that 9 out of the last 10 games. So that 90% hit rate in the last 10 and 75% hit rate on the year. So that is one you could take a look at if you like to all down. So for a lean here, the Mavericks have been beating teams over the past 4 games as underdogs. They've been beating them by 7 or more. So I will take the Mavericks against this Nets team that is not very good. And this last one is the Timberwolves versus the Warriors. Warriors are 3.5-point favorites. Anthony Edwards is questionable. For the Warriors, Draymond Green is out due to personal reasons, and Al Horford is out. So Steph Curry and Jimmy Butler are not on the injury report. And both of these teams are very good defensively. So I don't really want to mess around with Timberwolves players not knowing if Anthony Edwards is going to play. So one line that I do feel like is a little bit low is Jimmy Butler for his points. He's hit this points line in 80% of games this season at home, and the Wolves are in the middle of the league against his position. So it's not like it's a tough matchup. And then playing with Steph Curry this year, he's hit this line in 81% of games. The hit rate is there. The opportunity is going to be there. He's playing at home. And then a really interesting one that I found is with Draymond Green out this year, Quentin Post over his points line. So he's averaged 12 points per game with Draymond Green out, and that's counting that 0-point dud that he had very early in the year. So if you take that out, he's averaging 15 points per game with Draymond Green out. And I know Rudy Gobert is going to be there. I know you feel like it's a tough matchup, but they're actually in the middle of the league giving up points to the center position. So it's not a bad look. I feel like this line is down low because of that matchup, with the perception of Rudy Gobert being there and everything. But overall, just in general, he's hit this line in 7 out of the last 9 games. With one of those being against the Rockets defense, that is a really tough defense. So he could definitely get it done. For a lean, I think this is a tough one. If Anthony Edwards plays, I like the Timberwolves. If he doesn't play, I like the Warriors. That's pretty much it. But he did play in the last one, so I'll put the Timberwolves on the screen. So if you guys would like to discuss lines further, I have a Discord. Link is in the description. You can hop on in there. You can talk about basketball, football, all that good stuff. As far as the recap goes, we did have more blowouts. I feel like since a lot of teams are just kind of resting this week, and some are coming back rusty after cup games are being played. Some teams are just blowing teams out really badly, and it just hurts your props. So it just is what it is. So parlay of the day did not hit. There were some blowout props in there, so it's just it's like a minefield. Just gotta dodge the blowouts. But I'm gonna get this one edited and get it out to you all. God bless you. 3 years, man, that's crazy. So hopefully we get 3 more. So God bless you. It's Fine Around. My name is Jordan. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.